Hi my friends, and Happy New Year to all of you. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, so I'm going to do it now. So I send my love out to all of you and want to share with you what I feel is happening in my own life and maybe what you're also feeling on your own journey. So the time we're living in is really, really exciting and also really challenging, because as you probably know already and have heard from me many times, we're in an enormous change, and everything around us can seem very messy and very difficult and very hard to understand. And it's because this old world that we've been living in for so long is crumbling, and a new world is arising, and it's not happening outside of us, it's something that's happening inside of us, because the outside world really is a reflection of what's going on inside us. And as far as I can understand, there's also a split happening, so that some of us wish to awaken and become a part of this new world, to create it together and to live in it, and some do not wish to, are not on that journey. They wish to stay in a lower frequency because that's really their soul wish. They wish to stay in a low vibration where they live in separation and where they are driven by their ego consciousness, which is really the false self, and the soul has retrieved in a way. It has gone dormant. It's just sort of sitting there, and so these people will not awaken with the ones of us who wish to. So that's one of the challenges that we're living in, that people that we know and maybe love very deeply are not really going with us in the same direction, and we can't really work out what that's going to look like. But so I think just mentioning this, it's very important that when you sense that somebody is very much in a low frequency, that they most likely have, it is their wish to be there. And so as we can another way of putting it is that because everything really is consciousness, so really the one, we are really all one, it's one body, and it all is really God expressing him, herself. So God is expressing himself in this physical realm, and so every single person is, God is living in there, and God is having an experience through that person. So they are, they're giving God, it's very hard to explain, but God is having an experience through them. So when we find that people in our lives seem very stuck, and we're sad on their behalf, sad on our own behalf, we wish it to be different and we wish to really deeply connect with them and we can't. It's good to it can be very helpful to understand that, to just step back and to realize that these people, what's happening is that God is having an experience of being stuck in the ego, in the non-self. So God is having an experience in these people, and it's necessary, it's important, it's valuable actually. So I want to also talk about near-death experiences, and yeah, it's also very exciting in pre-birth planning, so how we have really planned our lives. So this just brings me to to where I feel that we're heading is, and that is really into a state of deeper love. We are, those of us who are awakening, we need to go even deeper, and we need to, our soul is, our spirit is calling us into a deeper love. And how that really manifests is by us allowing ourselves to go deeper into ourselves. So in the ego mind, this sounds very egotistical, and it sounds like we don't care about all the others, but really this is something that we have to overcome in a way. And I know it from myself, it can be very difficult because I feel like I wish to do so much for so many, but really what they really are asking for is for me to let go of them. And people who are who are still in their ego consciousness and who do not wish to awaken, they might find it hard to understand what we are doing. But what we need to do simply is to really become much more deeply loving towards ourselves, to allow ourselves, our own spirit being, which is really our own inner child, to step forth much more. And how do we do this? Well, we do this by really, in a way, how can we explain this? You go into yourself, go into your heart, and in a way, if you just imagine this huge ocean, this beautiful, peaceful, warm ocean that you can go swimming in, which is your inner self. And what we need to do is to dive into this inner self, to swim in this inner self. And so the inner self is allowed much more space in our lives, because by doing this we will grow more, we will experience much more harmony, joy, peace, love, and we will get to notice that there are aspects of us that still need releasing. So we are in this huge process, all of us, and we've really come to earth, the ones of us who wish to awaken, we have come to earth to help the process of releasing all the old stuck negativity, what we call the darkness, which is really the rejection of the truth. All this pain and suffering and hatred and being stuck in lies, all this is coming to the surface. And although we feel we've done a lot of work, we need to go even deeper. We need to allow even more this inner child to express her or himself in our lives. And so it can sound strange, and we can feel that we're sort of really changing a lot and detaching ourselves from a real lot, because what we're doing is really just stepping into the now moment and to what is within us. We're allowing this process of deep healing to happen. And so the first real step is just to allow whatever is in me to just come forth. So if I feel sad, I feel sad. If I feel worried, I feel worried. If I feel anxiety, I feel anxiety. So I'm allowing this to happen, knowing deep in my heart that it's all just layers of old stuff that needs to be released. And the way to let it surface and release is to allow it. That's all we need to do. So in a way it can sound, it is very, very simple, but in another way it's very difficult, because we are so used to holding on and controlling life. And we have this image of ourselves that we want we want to keep going, but we are in this huge transformation, because the person we used to be is dissolving. And it's not that we should hate it or push it aside. We simply just stop giving it energy and just allow ourselves to go within and to swim in this ocean of inner self. And in the outer world we will change. And what's so beautiful is that our energy will rise, our vibration will rise, we will be more and more filled with love and peace and light, and so we will be transforming the world as we do this. So as passive as this might seem, that we start to live a life where we really are just with ourselves, as passive as this might seem, it's actually, we're doing the greatest service to all. And the people who are around us who maybe wish to awaken, they can download the light and the love that we are manifesting into the earth. So they can, without taking our resources or feeding off us, they will be helped just by us doing that. And the fact that we're not behaving as we used to do, where they were feeding off of us and they were being held in their old way of being, we stopped doing that by just allowing this process to happen. And so they are being given the opportunity to feel themselves much more, because we have stopped the habit life. We've stopped being the people we used to be, doing and saying the things we used to say and do, and we are changing. So we are helping them too by really not doing anything, by really just letting them go. So yeah, I'd like to just go into a wonderful man called Robert Schwartz, who has written some beautiful books and who is all about pre-life planning. And I'll leave a link here below so you can go and see him if you don't know about him. But he helps people to go into hypnosis and go to the place where they actually planned this life on earth. And so what he's really sharing with us is that everything we are experiencing right now is planned by ourselves. And he says that he was explained by Jesus when he connected to Jesus, that because he was asking, how do you know if whatever's going on in your life is something that you planned yourself? And Jesus' reply was that if you're saying to yourself, this thing should not be happening, that's something that you have planned. That's how you know it. So the big challenges in our lives we have really asked for, we wished for. And for people hearing this the first time, they can think this is just so absurd. Why would we ever do this? But it's simply because we wish to grow. We are here to grow and to expand and to heal old pain. And and these very difficult experiences are here to help us do all that. So it's actually in the ego mind, in the mental, the old way of seeing this, the challenges that we're having in this lifetime seem really bad, but for the soul, for the spirit, for our growth and our evolution and our becoming our divine selves, for that part of us, it's actually very beautiful. So I can share about myself, which I've mentioned in my in these many videos I've made, how the aspect of having this in your life, where you have estranged children who do not wish to see you, which is very painful, and it's still going on in my life. And I just got a comment this morning where somebody wrote to me, because I said something about saying sorry to our children if they feel that we have wronged them. And her comment was, if you said sorry that way, it wasn't a proper sorry. And I sent her a heart. Sometimes I get I get comments that are very negative, and I just delete them. Because I don't want a war going on on my channel. So, but I think it's good to, I've mentioned this before, to be very honest about the pain that I'm experiencing in my life, so that you don't get to see me as a perfect person who has no problems, because I have problems. And so this has been an enormous challenge for me, because being a mother was a very, very big part of my personality and my dream, really, my wishes for this lifetime, and this very strong belief that if you really take care of your children well, they'll be fine. But the thing is, they won't necessarily. So, and I just want to share with you what I feel I'm learning as I go. And one thing is, there's no recipe for being a good parent. And no matter which type of parent you've been, for our it's good to repent. It's good to have a look at it and see, how could I have done things differently? But really, what I feel I'm learning more and more is to really get to love yourself even deeper, and to set yourself free, and to of course set your children free, because that's one of the things that I'm learning when you're not living with you don't have your children in your life. You can't help them, and if they're in a very difficult situations and you can't reach them, it's very difficult. But one of the aspects I feel I've learned is really to set my children free, to be on the journey that they are on. So there's so many different aspects to this. The one is the guilt that maybe I didn't do it well enough, and so my what I feel I'm learning is to not have guilt, to love yourself deeply for who you are right now, and to love the past, no matter what happened, no matter how bad a parent you feel you were on the surface. You were actually doing what the children asked for, and this can really be hard to wrap our mind around, but to really, really release all guilt, and to know deep in your heart that whatever you have done, it's fine, it's fine. And that so this is one huge part of this, is to not have guilt, and to actually not necessarily feel proud about what you did as a mother. You can do that. I do actually feel proud in a way, because I think I did a good job. But to really not judge it at all, to just let it be what it was. You were the mother, or you were the father, you were, and now you're right here. Your children might be grown up, they might be near you, they might be far away from you, and to just release all grips on the past. So and to just let it all go, really. And so yeah, I can make many videos about this. But the other thing I mentioned before was if you see, you feel your children are suffering, they're having a really hard time in this earth life, to understand that, as I mentioned before, that God is in there having an experience of being in a lot of pain, and maybe feeling very lonely, just very lost, whatever is going on in their lives, to understand that this is necessary and it's actually valuable. So whatever they're going through, and that you have no way to help or to change, and you're not it is, the reason why is because you're not meant to. You're not meant to interfere. So to see their lives, and that's a huge process, to not judge their lives. It's not good or bad. It is what it is. And they are on a journey that in many ways has nothing to do with you. So let them be there where they are. This is a huge thing too. You're not there to fix it. You're not there to change it. You're there to love it. Love that experience of what you're seeing, and maybe see how you can see it as beautiful. So we in the process of learning to, after we've been living for thousands of years as judges of every single tiny thing we and others do and say and did and said, and whatever they're going to do and say, we were judging constantly. Good, bad, right, wrong. And all this is crumbling. And the more we help ourselves to let it go consciously, the quicker we're going to feel so much more joy and beauty and love and harmony in our lives. Because we're not meant to judge it. It is what it is. So it is really the Advent. This is awakening spiritually is the adventure of all adventures. To realize that the way I have been seeing this is not of a high vibration. I wish to let that way, the way I have been viewing this is not serving me. I want to let that go and see this in a new light. I want to see the beauty in everything. See the wholeness in everything. And so the last thing I just want to share is that with this challenge for me, and it's also with my own mother, has been a very, very challenging experience where I very much have felt I was the giver, and no matter how much I give, it's being abused, or it's just very difficult to be in. And so these very challenging relationships, as I have grown, I have learnt to slowly, very, very slowly, to accept them, to just let them be as they are, and to more and more serve my own inner child, stop pleasing them, and to help myself be really joyful right where I am with these relationships as they are. So to really surrender to the fact that these are challenges, and the fact that I have chosen them myself helps, of course, a lot, because I realize that this is actually a gift I've given myself. So before I came to Earth, we all, according to Robert Schwartz and many others, and I really do believe it myself, we sat down as family members, all these people that we were going to be connected to very closely in this lifetime, and we asked these people to challenge us, to make life really difficult for us, and they said, yes, I'll do it for you. I'll make life really hard for you. And why did we do this? Well, because we wish to grow. And as he says, that we come, the thing is, we all come from heaven. We all come from the world of love, where there is only love. There is only love on all levels. And for us to really become conscious of the fact that we are this love, and that this love is just so magnificent, it's incomprehensible. For us to realize this, we have to experience non-love. We have to experience people being very unloving towards us, very judgmental, make life really difficult for us. And so this is what has happened. Before I came here, I asked for these challenges, and they were to teach me all about love. And so the first step, when we realize, when we understand that these challenges I have, it could be other challenges that you're having in your life, the first step is to really surrender to the fact that they're there, and it's okay. They're there to teach me something. And that can take many years to simply surrender to the fact that these are challenges I'm having because I need them, I wanted them. And they're there for my learning, for my growth. And as we move on in this, and we get to master this more and more, we can get to the place where we actually start to love these challenges and see them as beautiful. And that's really the experience I had the other day, and I saw how, and this is a really wonderful way to work with yourself, is to ask your inner child, how does she or he want you to help you to see these enormous challenges as beautiful. And so I asked myself, what is some of the things that really matter to me in life, and my inner child. And she said, beauty is really important to me, and feeling really good in my body, taking really good care of myself, and really enjoying the moment. And so she showed me how every challenge, every one of these relationships that's very difficult, I could put as a flower on my body. So one relationship was I can't remember the English names, but there was a flower put on my face there, and the other relationship was another flower. And then down here, this was my relationship to my mother. This was a hibiscus flower. So it was just shown to me which flowers, the hibiscus flower, and another relationship was the rose. It was a red rose, and it's down here in my sacral chakra. And so I just sense how these roses are blossoming on me, and they are the relationships. They are the gifts. So what these relationships are doing is really teaching me to love myself even more. Because the challenge is that these challenging relationships are making my ego say, you never did it good enough. You're not good enough. You're not lovable. And so I have to transmute this energy. I have to change this way of seeing it to understand that these challenges are teaching me to love myself even deeper. Because whenever we say to ourselves, I'm not good enough, we're lying. Because we always are enough, and we are always completely lovable. So we need to allow this process to happen, that we have this deep feeling of being loved always. And whatever we can do in our daily lives to help this feeling of being lovable and being loved and being love itself, the more we can do to make this manifest, the more we are awakening and the more we are growing. And the more everything old and destructive and whatever's not serving us, the more we release that automatically. And of course we're helping everybody around us because we're feeling better. Everything is vibrating at a higher frequency, and so life is just the new earth energy is manifesting more and more. So wherever we are, whatever we're doing, we feel this abundance of peace and joy and love. The nagging thought or feeling that I'm not good enough, I didn't do it well enough, I'm never enough, is gone. It's simply gone. And doesn't happen from one day to the other. Another thing we can do is to just call in help, because there's help everywhere, and the whole spiritual world wishes for us to be in this love vibration all the time, and they want to help us, but we have to wish it ourselves. We have to do the work ourselves. It doesn't. It's not going to be done for us. We have to choose that this is the way I wish to live my life. I wish to completely set myself free. I do not wish to feel any guilt, any resentment towards myself or anyone else. I don't want to judge myself or anyone else. I want to let myself be love, and then it will happen. So yeah, this was a little bit from my private life, and how I feel that the challenges in my life are more and more turning into these nuggets of gold, or diamonds on my way, because realizing that they are all gifts I really asked these people to give me, and they have so lovingly gone into these roles that they are playing to help me find this treasure. So we are love, and that's all we really are, and we're in the process of discovering that that's who we are. So yeah, I wish you are beautiful, love-filled, light-filled, and yeah, new year, full of freedom, full of spontaneity, full of good connection with your inner child, helping you to play and to be joyful, and to allow whatever comes up from this ocean within you, whatever it is, to just allow it to be there. So that's what I wish for you, and I send you all my love. Bye.